Okay, hello everybody and welcome to the Sitecore Send webinar using Sitecore XP and Send to perform email automation. My name is Walt Raleigh, the head of Sitecore competency at EPAM. I'm a Sitecore strategy MVP and I'm joined here with my colleagues today. Madhav, will you say hi to the audience?
Hey, hello everyone. My name is Madhav and I'm a lead software engineer at EPAM.
Thank you. And Narav?
Hi all, I'm Nirav Desai, solution architect at EPAM.
Thank you. All right, let's get into our agenda. So we're going to demonstrate what the use case is and talk about from a marketer's perspective. Then we'll look at Sitecore forms and the configurations that were required to send the information over to Send. Then we'll take a look at configurations on the Send side. Then we'll see what happens after some of these sends are executed by taking a look at some of the dashboards. Then we'll take a closer look at a personalized email scenario and then how we can perform 360-degree tracking by having that represented back in the Sitecore XP side as a goal. Okay, so let's talk about the scenario from a high level. So first, about Sitecore Send. It was acquired earlier in 2021. It's a SaaS platform and it handles many different digital marketing workloads. In today's presentation, we're going to focus on the API integration, a personalized email campaign, and how we track the performance of that campaign. So the scenario is this. We're a digital marketer. We have Sitecore XP as our web and content management platform, but we're doing our email communications and those types of campaigns through Send. We want to use both platforms to the best of their abilities. So in step one, the visitor will submit the form in Sitecore XP. That will add it to a mailing list and segment in Send. Then Send executes the email send, and it's based on the segment and the offer strategy that we have devised. The visitor would then receive a personalized email, and of course, if they read it, or in this case, click on it, it's considered a goal. You might also consider it a conversion in your business. All right, so now let's take a closer look at the forms and configurations. Madhav, can you take us through this?
Absolutely, thanks. Yeah, so when it comes to Sitecore forms, we created a basic form submission from Sitecore. Yeah, so as you see in the slide, we have a couple of fields which we have set it up as a Sitecore form. There's a first name, last name, email, and the mobile, and the interest. So the interest field is kind of important to us just because from the Send perspective, this is a custom field which will be considered to make it as a segment. The contact will be segregated into different segments based on the interest, what the person chooses on this form. And upon submission, the whole contact is submitted to MoSend API, which will then take over the process. And for the custom submission, we also created a custom submit action on the Sitecore XP side. It's a basic code, the custom code, what we write as usual, and then provide the API endpoint and a mailing list ID, which I would show in the later slide. Then you utilize this button into the form so that it submits to the MoSend. This is how the custom submit action code looks like. It's a generic one. What you basically do is you just do a override of your execute method and then call using the mailing list ID at the top and the API key, which you would get once you create an account in Sitecore Send. And then you just use a normal post method to submit the contact details or personal information which we received in the previous form submission, and then post to Send. And then after it's sent, we just make sure once the response comes back, we just show up a thank you message or any other redirection to another page. So this is just a basic form submission. So this is a MoSend submit action which we wrote. So basically, this is an execute method, which we utilize the member list ID. Member list ID is the unique member list which we create in the send application, and then it's a unique GUID which we put in the code, and then so that all the contacts which are submitted goes towards that member list ID. And this is the API key unique to your account, which would be utilized to post it into your account. And the execute call does it asynchronously and collects all the information which is part of your submit form context, which is basically the first name, last name, email, interest, and mobile. And then we post it as a normal model, custom model towards send API. The send API would be right here, the post async as a send API. You populate member list and the API ID and the content. So this would basically submit the whole thing and come back with the response data.
Great. So typically, Sitecore's default save action, or the typical one, would be to save it to the Sitecore database. But in this scenario, we take that information and we send it over to the other platform.
Correct. The Sitecore send configuration. So when it comes to the Sitecore XP, we created a form, we created a custom action method, and we called the API. So in order to call that API with a mailing list and also the API key, we need to set up a demo account. Probably this is what you see, the EPAM demo account, which we created. And we also created a mailing list, which looks like this EPAM demo list or whatever name you gave. And each mailing lists here represents the mailing list ID, which we post through our custom mailing action, custom submit action. So when we have this mailing list configuration, because we also referred to a custom field, which was interest. So basically, whenever you create a mailing list, the send creates a default fields, which are email, name, mobile, which is by default, and you cannot edit it or delete it. But in our case, because it was a custom field, we created ourselves with the interest and the same field name which you are populating or submitting from your custom code should match in here, the custom field, so that it automatically populates whatever you send from the form submit. So using this, you can like do all the custom fields. Just for this example, it's only one, but you can go as many as you like to. So once you create and configure on the send side, then you get into the segments part. The segment parts are the kind of segregating different visitors or contacts who submit their information through your Sitecore form. This will usually help when you want to run a campaign against different interests. For example, in this scenario, say we have basketball interested users or kayaking or skiing or canoeing users. Created was depending on the interest which they have selected on the previous Sitecore form. We segregate those visitors or contacts into different segments. So once we have different interested contacts, then Sitecore send automatically matches it. Then it will be segmented into different segments which we have mentioned. And also, according to that, we can also create two types of campaigns. One is a normal campaigns, which run on the bulk of contacts which are already into the system. And for the new subscriptions, you can also create an automated campaigns. For example, a new subscriber comes in after your campaign started. So you can create automation task there and run a campaign all by itself. So whenever a new subscription happens to a particular mailing list, for say. So even that you can do it easily. When it comes to the campaigns, the campaigning, the template is completely personalizable and targetable to each segment. So even when it comes to the subject or the content or the images or the links, everything inside an email campaigning is completely personalizable when it comes to Sitecore side.
Okay, so everyone who submitted the form ended up in the mailing list we broke the mailing list down into segments, and then we have a campaign that matches each segment.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's pretty easy to follow that data model. That's great.
Yeah. For example, just to show how the flow goes into picture, I can just send a sample subscription. So let's say I just send to my colleague. Demo purpose, the phone numbers are not real. So let me say I've selected skiing, and then I submit, and then we show a thank you email. So when we come back, here are the mailing list on the most end. This is a demo API integration mailing list. So if I come back and see members, we see a new member right here, which we submitted from the Sitecore form right now at 4:50. We also have an automation which runs in, which is sending a demo campaign to Nirav. And this is how it works. And it takes some few minutes because it is not live. It just has to detect the change, and then it triggers those actions. But it's fairly simple configuring those. When someone subscribes to any list, just send a campaign.
So let's take a look at what happens when we do some of the email sends through these campaigns, what type of information we get back in dashboard format.
Well, for the demo purpose, we did the campaigning for 4 types of interests, which we had right there on the Sitecore form, which was kayaking, basketball, skiing, and canoeing. So if you see this is a combined campaign analytics dashboard. I can show you directly also, but as the snapshot shows, the dashboard menu shows the overall campaigning put together, all the campaigns put together. So that's why you see like 78 recipients, 33% which are open, and clicks, and those it even have the unsubscribe links. So if the person unsubscribes it, then we also get that count here. So if we go to the next part of the same slide, it's the same page, but below there we do have more details on the top links performance. So during that email engagement, what was the most used or clicked links, and even if it has a breakdown of campaigning, which are open, which are not open, and if the email address was a wrong email address, then if it has bounced back, then even we see that bounced back email addresses, how much percentage bounced back. And also we have the top campaigns which are running across your account. So these are the canoeing which was running across the account, and the top mailing list which has many subscribed events and unsubscribed events. So this is a single view of all those things.
Okay.
And also, if you want to deep dive into individual campaigns, if I want to look up into say kayaking campaigning, I don't want the whole thing, then we also have a place where we click on the campaigns menu right below the dashboard, where you get to select each campaign. So when you select each campaign, then the breakdowns or the chart shows at the individual campaigning level. So the same campaigning, if you see that the recipients are 11, the 11 recipients received only kayaking, but it's still the percentage kind of vary from when it compares to the overall. Again, it gives the same charts what we see it in the all combined dashboard, but we do have the same recipients, locations, all those criteria as you see here.
Great.
Yeah, for example, this one with the skiing, we see 11 people have been sent, and among them 27.727% of them open the email, and the click rates. And also if we observe the details here, The customer views also are shown by devices, which is kind of desktop, mobile, or any, and also from the locations from where they have accessed those things. They're completely like geo IP things.
And this is all this is all out of the box. So
yeah, this is all, there's nothing from my end which I've done. It's just the setting up the campaign and running it. I've not done anything else apart from here.
Yeah.
So
great.
Pretty much everything is out of box. All these functionalities.
Okay. Yeah. So let's take a look then at how you personalize these emails, and then also recorded the goal back in Sitecore.
Yep. So yeah, so when it comes to email personalization, this is an example snapshot of our email personalization. I can just go into the actual campaigning editor to show that. But each and individual placeholders, what you see, say for this huge sample, the image or the free shipping, on sale, everything is completely kind of personalizable. You can put the custom conditions, say, for example, in our case, there are multiple interests. So you create one email campaigning template, and depending on the interest, say if it is a basketball interest or the person has subscribed to basketball, then we show basketball offer or a basketball image. And if it is a skiing, then you show the skiing or canoeing or any kayaking, whatever we want to, we can just personalize with right there in one campaigning template. So for example, here we see like dark green versus yellow, which is personalized, which is a single email based on basketball or skiing. We receive different email template.
That's great. Can we show the editor where that rule is taking place? I think it shows all of the variations and the conditional logic is on the left.
Yeah. So if I quickly come back to the most and outside application, so here this is a campaigning this campaign designer. There's a template which is already selected, but I can still go there and edit it or show it. Yeah. So if I do this, then I see here the interest for this is basketball, because I came in from the basketball campaign. The interest is basketball. So tomorrow for everything, I can just, for this image, I can change this to say skiing, or probably I'll just duplicate this and say if it is skiing, then as simple as that.
Okay, great. I just wanted to see how that worked from sort of the design and development experience.
Yeah.
So let's move to the personal or to the goal tracking.
Yeah, for the 360 tracking, I can quickly, yeah.
Right. So we know marketing performance can improve based on being able to enrich our profiles with more information about their engagement, right? So knowing what they did in the email channel while they're on the web gives us sort of an upper hand as a marketer to be able to present the right content based on how they're engaging with us. Again, not just what they see on the website, but also what they've done in other channels. So to exercise this, what we wanted to do is put a goal back in the Sitecore XP side if they've interacted with the email. And then from there, theoretically, you could do a personalization rule based off of the fact that goal triggered. What we'll focus on here is showing how we triggered that goal.
This is the email that I just received from the previous submission that Madhav did, based on my interest, of course. And if I'm going to click on this view offer link, for me, the website. So we just clicked on the link from the email, and here, we see the goal being triggered. The simple goal I've created that onboarding customer journey, nothing fancy here. The name, provided number of points. It's a live event, so we can see it live when it triggers if you want to, but it's optional. I also set a rule that this goal only triggers if the user is coming from the email campaign. Of course, you can have your own set of rules, and you can go complex and simple as we did, but you can also go complex with adding more rules to it. Then what we did is just simply on the offers page, set up a goal. So if somebody visit the page, then the goal triggers, and as you can see here on the screen, if the URL has the parameter source email campaign, and then of course we are passing additional parameter, you can do that too for complex scenarios, but for now, just to make it simplified version, what we did is if you visit the offers page directly, it will not hit the goal. But if you come from the email campaign and you land on the page with additional parameters, then it hits the goal, and then you can identify the customer from that. You can create the Sitecore context of the customer of the website. So you identify the customer which is coming from the email campaign. So you know it is the user is coming from the email campaign. You identify customer. You can even start the journey of the customer right away without even user need to do anything spatial. You can even get the tracking history of the user. You can generate all the personalized content because you have already identified the user out of the personalized campaign. And then you can go back, do the same when you submit the form, capture that information into Sitecore Send, and personalize your email. So it just keeps running like a 360, coming from MoveSend to Sitecore website, and then from your website to the email campaign again. You have the data synchronized on both systems for a customer for their better personalized experience here on the website as well as emails. That's what
Great.
I have, Walt.
Excellent. Yeah, I like that that round trip there of having the outcomes in both systems. So just to recap, we had a form in Sitecore XP with a custom action. When that was submitted, it went to MoveSend into a mailing list, and it was broken down into segments based on the interest. We then ran email campaigns to send personalized emails by interest back to those visitors. And then if they engaged with the email, we recorded a goal back on the website, and we stopped there for the moment. So appreciate anyone who views this, and hope you found it useful. And thanks to Nirav and Madhav for their hard work in putting this integration together.